My name is Jordan Beal.
And I'm Andrew Renauer.
We're from Harris Christian School, and we will be doing the story of Joseph.
By Matthew and Jordan Beal.
Homer,
No,
Homer,
no,
stop.
just
Homer, I
no,
told you to stop.
no,
Sit down.
no,
Homer,
no, you
Homer,
no.
sit down. Hi, everyone.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Fireside Chats with Homer. Oh my. Yes, I did it!
Why are you so excited?
You have been doing these things for 6 years now, and now I get to do one.
Whatever. Hey, everyone. How are you today? How are you? Good? Great. Well, we've got a fantastic Bible story to tell you today, don't we, Homer?
We sure do, Oxley.
Why don't you tell the nice people what story we're going to do?
Today, we're going to do the Song of Solomon.
Yeah, well... No, we are not. What we are doing is a story of oppression and freedom, triumph over despair, and mercy over hate. This is the story of Joseph. It comes out of Genesis chapters 37 through 50.
Whoa, hold up, that's 14 chapters. You know we only have 10 minutes, right?
I think we'll be fine. Consider it a great illustrated classics version of the story.
Oh, okay.
Our story begins in the land of Canaan. Joseph was the son of a man named Jacob, who in all had 12 sons.
Wow, and I thought I had a large family.
Indeed. Now one day, Joseph told his brothers of a dream he'd had. In it, he and his brothers were gathering wheat when suddenly his brothers' bundles of wheat began to bow down to his. His brothers, almost all older than he, were none too pleased about the idea of anything of theirs bowing down to him.
Well, he better be dreaming if the wheat is bowing down to him.
Yes, and... Wait, why did you say wheat like that?
I didn't. All I said was wheat.
Oh, you're saying it weird. You're accenting the H too much.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying wheat.
Say wheat.
Wheat.
Now say now say wheat.
Wheat.
Wheat!
Wheat!
Oh, forget it. Anyways, later, Joseph had a similar dream. Only this time, it involved the stars, the sun, and the moon, representing his parents as well. This time, even his father corrected him.
If I told my parents to bow down to me, they'd either laugh uncontrollably or ground me for life.
Probably ground you. All this dream business showed that one day, Joseph's family would be subservient to him, and this got his brothers very angry. So they decided to get rid of him.
Wait, just for 2 dreams they decided to get rid of him?
Well, see, that wasn't the only problem. Joseph was also a favorite child, as Jacob had given him a special coat of many colors, something else that didn't sit too well with the bros.
Ah, I see.
One day, Jacob sent Joseph to check in on his brothers tending the flocks near Shechem, and while he approached, his brothers spotted him. After some consideration, they decided to throw him into an empty well, and when he arrived, they did just that.
Well, that's not very nice. What if he scrapes his arm or something?
Homer, I think you're missing the point. They threw him into a pit! And not only that, they were going to kill him, were it not for the oldest brother, Reuben.
Wait, Joseph had a sandwich for a brother?
Well, more like a turkey, but that's besides the point. While they were deciding what to do next, some traders came along, and so the brothers just decided to sell him into slavery.
This is not Joseph's dad.
Not at all. He was eventually sold in Egypt, where a powerful man named Potiphar bought him. However, it wasn't all bad, because Joseph became a pretty well-liked guy by Potiphar, eventually rising to chief over the household. However, after some time, a problem arose in the form of Potiphar's wife.
Oh, woman. They cause so many problems, don't they?
Sure. Anyway, long story short, Potiphar's wife got Joseph in so much trouble, he was fired from his job and thrown in prison.
Well, did Joseph deserve it?
Quite the opposite. The charges were completely baseless and falsified. Joseph was in prison for no good reason, or so it seemed.
So it seemed. What good thing can come from a man being stripped of his constitutional rights so blatantly like that?
Well, first of all, the Constitution didn't exist at this point. But regardless, Joseph being in prison turned out to work in his favor. Just like in the household, Joseph gained the respect of the jailkeeper and was made a head over the prison. While he was in the prison, he met 2 fine gentlemen, a baker and a butler. And, like Joseph, they each had a dream.
My stars, all these dreams. Going heavy on the cold pizza there, guys?
I guess. Now, in the butler's dream, he squeezed fresh grapes into a cup and served them to Pharaoh. The baker, on the other hand, was carrying baskets of bread until birds came and consumed his wares.
So what do these dreams mean?
Well, let's consult an outside source. Hans, what do you make of the butler's dream? And the baker's dream?
Well, that's quite definitive.
Yes. It worked out that the butler was rehired again, while the baker was executed a few days later. Before the butler was rehired, Joseph asked him to mention him to Pharaoh, an action he did. 2 years later.
2 years? What, did he get lost on the way back to the palace?
No, he forgot about him. Until one day, Pharaoh, like everybody else...
Let me guess, he had a dream?
Actually, he had two, both of which Joseph correctly interpreted as 7 years of plenty in the land, followed by 7 years of famine.
What was his dream?
Well, suffice it to say, Joseph was so impressed by the interpretations thereof, it made him second in command in Egypt. Under his leadership, Egypt was well prepared when the famine hit. However, Joseph's brothers were not.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about those guys.
When Joseph's brothers arrived, Joseph recognized them immediately, while his brothers were blissfully unaware of his presence. Joseph inquired of their being there, and upon hearing their request, gave them some grain, but also put the money back in their bags. When they found out about this, it rather got under their skin.
Well, they're not the only ones with the problem under their skin.
You do realize that if that problem wasn't under your skin, you wouldn't be alive.
Oh yeah? Well, I don't.
Oh dear. Would you please give me a minute? Hans, please take care of that. Come on now, no hard feelings.
Okay, I see your point.
Yeah. Anyhow, Joseph's brothers returned a second time for grain, but this time they brought their youngest brother Benjamin at Joseph's request, because Benjamin was Joseph's closest biological brother. When Joseph saw his youngest brother, he went out of the room and wept bitterly. He then held a feast with them and finally gave his brothers grain again.
Did he put something in their bags this time?
He did, in fact. Not only did he put the money in again, but he also put in his silver cup. When his brothers were a short ways out, Joseph sent his guards to stop them and search their bags.
Whose bag had a silver cup in it?
Benjamin's.
Shock face! Oh, sorry, actually. That was in parentheses. I wasn't supposed to say that. Why did he put the silver cup in his bag?
Well, Joseph wanted to test his brothers, see if they'd changed. They said that whoever was found with a cup in his bag would die, and the rest would be slaves of Joseph, though at the time they didn't know that it was him. Surely enough, when they got back, his brothers immediately began to offer themselves to die in Benjamin's place.
How did Joseph react?
He was so moved by this that he sent out all the Egyptians in the room and wept so loudly that everyone heard him. He then revealed himself to his brothers and explained how God had planned everything, from the pit to Potiphar to the palace, to save his family. He said, "You intended it for evil, but God intended it for good." Shortly thereafter, Joseph's families and all their families moved from Canaan to Egypt, where they prospered greatly.
But what about the 430 years of oppression and slavery by Egypt?
We'll cover that some other time. The point is, despite everything that happened to Joseph being bad from our perspective, he trusted that God had a reason for why. And surely enough, he did. It's easy for us today to wonder why God puts us in bad situations. But he has a reason for it. We just need to trust him that he'll see us through to the end of it. You'll also notice that you don't find Joseph complaining about his situation or the hardships he went through. We could all do well to emulate his model in our day-to-day lives.
Well, Hans, how did you think that went? Great.
Well, thanks everyone for...
Hey, Huxley, what's that over there?
Well, I don't see any...
Thanks everyone for coming. Yes, I did an ending too.
Oh, bother.